Well, we've turned the page into November, and October was no slouch either. A meteorologist, Craig Flint. This is the Weather Academy on yourerie.com. October finished with some pretty notable, I guess you could say, events, if you will. I mean, we've gotten ourselves into the top 20 wettest Octobers, officially finishing October as the 15th wettest. And believe it or not, October, I know it was a little cool the second half of the month, but the first half of the month really made up some ground. We finished October second warmest on record. It was great. Now we've turned the page into November. Some of us have already gotten a little bit of that graupely, ice pellety, even some snow early Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So we're talking the second into the third of November, slushy inch or so. And that's going to become more common as we go into November. Although, kind of a sneak peek to the forecast here, as we go towards Thanksgiving, we are getting some indications that it will actually be warmer. Now, not like 80 degrees warm, but 60 for sure. As we head towards Thanksgiving, we'll see about that. So, as we turn the page into November, we wanted to kind of take you above the clouds on this edition of the Weather Academy because November is going to serve up some really cool astronomical events. So we'll discuss those in detail with you here on this edition of the Weather Academy. So we will start with the meteor showers this month, and there's actually a few of them. So the peak of the southern Torrid meteor shower will be on the 4th and 5th. So basically this week, the week of November 1st. So the peak of the southern Torrids, 4th and 5th, and then the peak of the northern Torrid meteor shower coming up on the 11th and 12th. Now, this is not like one of the great shows, but you will see some shooting stars if the weather cooperates. A rate of 5 meteors per hour. Now, that may not seem like much, and it's not, and it all really is dependent on whether or not we can clear the clouds out. This time of the year, you get stuck in that northwest flow over that warm lake, and it's tough to kind of scour out some clouds. But we do have a meteor shower that's going on. So right now, as of November 3rd, going into the 4th and 5th, the peak of the southern Torrids. So don't be surprised if you see some shooting stars. And then coming up on the 11th and 12th, the northern Torrids peak, rate of 5 meteors per hour. And here's the thing about the Torrid meteor shower. They're known to produce those fireballs. Sometimes you get reports of those or sightings of those in the sky, those big, brilliant fireballs screaming through the atmosphere, putting on a big show. So the Torrid meteor shower is known to produce fireballs. So don't be surprised if you see one of those. So something exciting to look for in the sky here. Again, the Torrid's not the most vibrant meteor shower, but the one that is coming up later in the month are the Leonids, or is the Leonid meteor shower. That peaks on November 17th and 18th. And again, these will be brighter and more vibrant, but again, depending on what the weather is doing, hopefully we'll be able to see the meteor shower. More vibrant meteors, and you'll see a rate of 15 to 20 meteors per hour as we get towards November 17th and 18th. Those would be the Leonid meteor showers. So we have the Torrids here to start off the month. Again, you'll see a few shooting stars, but the Leonid is probably the best show in terms of meteor showers as we get into mid and late November. Again, the peak on the 17th and 18th. So, like I said, maybe the weather won't be too bad in terms of chilly weather, with some indications that we will warm up. But definitely look to the sky, not only early in the month, but also as we get towards the 17th and 18th when the Leonids peak. The other cool thing that's happening this month of November, coming up on the 19th, is a partial lunar eclipse. 97% of the disk of the moon will be covered by Earth's shadow, and it will be visible in North and South America, again, depending on the weather. But we're not the only ones going to get in on this party. It'll also be visible in Australia and East Asia, but you don't live there. You live here. And hopefully the weather breaks and we'll be able to see that pretty cool sight coming up on November 19th. But this is going to be a long, drawn out process. So if you are into, the moon phases and stuff like that, keep an eye out for the partial lunar eclipse coming up on November 19th. Again, 17% of the moon will be, or excuse me, 97% of the moon will be covered by the Earth's shadow. So something cool to see coming up on the 19th, and more specifics on that. So the partial lunar eclipse, again, Friday, November 19th, but the penumbral eclipse starts just after 1 in the morning. And then as we get towards 2:19, that's what I mean. This is kind of a long, drawn out thing. 2:19, the partial eclipse starts. We'll reach maximum eclipse at 4:03 in the morning. And then the partial eclipse will end a little bit before 6. And then the penumbral eclipse ends at 7:04. Again, that is all coming up on November 19th. So we've got the Taurids, we've got the Leonid meteor shower, and we've got a partial eclipse coming up later this month. So some pretty cool things happening in the sky. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. So check it out. But you might want to grab, like the jacket and maybe a cup of hot chocolate if you're going to go out and view the partial lunar eclipse later this month. So that's what's going on above the clouds. That is it for this edition of Weather Academy. We thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can always stay up with the forecasts from the Jet Pinpoint team of meteorologists. You can just do that by going right where you are now, yourerie.com. Click on the weather tab. You can find the 7-day forecast. You can find the interactive Doppler radar, and of course, all of our live weather cameras over covering all of the area. Some pretty neat views to be found there. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint. Thanks for clicking on us here, and hopefully you will enjoy what the November sky has to offer with the meteor shower and, again, the partial lunar eclipse coming up on November 19th. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.